How do you get over bad news? Or, for example, you get a negative comment or something's not going so well. How do you work through that? Or is that a bad question?
No, it's a good question. But I'm such a sarcastic butthead. I tell you, I really am. When people give me bad comments, I don't think I've really had many. I've had people criticize. Okay, I give you one. I think the worst comment I've ever received was in a review. No, the worst one was someone gave me 1 star on Goodreads for one of my books, and they never gave any description, just 1 star and move on. But then what I did is I went over to their profile and noticed that most of the books that they were doing were 1 star. I was like, who gives a crap? But someone who made on Amazon made a comment, gave me 3 stars and said, there were so many spelling errors or grammatical errors. And I just thought to myself, yeah, and that might be bad. That might be bad to whoever's watching this. Okay, I get that. But let me give you a little short story here. So I have an individual that I know. He's a principal of a private school. Had him over for dinner once with his family. His kids and my kids are friends. So we decided to get to know each other a little bit better. So we had them over and we were talking about how his boys were reading a couple of my books. And he had picked one up and looked and found a few errors on one of the pages. And he said, my hobby, what I like to do to relax is editing. And I was like, okay. And he says, would you mind if I edited your books? I was like, okay. So I went and I got the volume and I just handed him to him. He's like, I can do all the, he looked happy. I was like, go for it. Anyway, so he got a hold of me later. He says, I found so many errors. And I went, He's like, that doesn't bother you? It says, well, let me ask you 2 questions. And those of you who are watching this, listen to these questions. First of all, did those errors pull you out of the story? He said, no. And I said, then my second question is, did you enjoy the story? And he says, are you kidding me? I loved it. I says, then I don't care. I'll fix them I've noticed things with my books when I write. If one person says it, it's an opinion. And it's just like a backside. Everybody's got one, whatever. But if it's 50 people, I take note. I will look into this and fix this. So you have to weigh and consider. So bad comments. I love honest people, even if they're coming at me going, I love it. So do I deal with it? I just laugh. I was like, awesome. Someone read enough to be upset. I have been texted 3:30 in the morning by a fan who found my cell number and told me to rot in hell. And I was like, what the heck? And then he did the follow-up text and made me laugh so hard I almost fell out of bed. My wife's like, what's going on? He says, I can't tell any of you this because it would be a spoiler. You have to read my book. You have to read the first book. It's free. Just go get it. But he was so angry of what I did in the first book. And I texted him back. I was like, are you serious? He's like, die, go to hell. And I'm like, that's just funny. So no, I like interacting with people. It's okay.
Even when they're awful people. Well.
Oh, no, they just have an awful opinion. That doesn't mean they're awful people. They just, but it means that you wrote well enough to get under their skin. That's something, isn't it?